motivation actually propels students and both pupils and teachers alike to go further in their chosen academic work. Does the school have any incentive that propels her pupils, and the teachers to do more in their academic work? What incentive do the school have to be?
Okay, I would say motivation is my thing, because sometimes even the pupils in school will say to their teachers, "Isn't Big Auntie coming today? Because we want to get lollipops, or we want to get gifts from her." Now, giving out gifts to children is something that we do termly, sometimes weekly, depends on how they've excelled in class, best behaved in class, best performance in class, best improved performance in class, outstanding care, or outstanding, all sorts of gifts that, categories that they use. Once they put up their names, we give them gifts to motivate them. Sometimes and some of them sometimes get to snap a picture with Big Auntie, and that's something that they really look forward to. As for the teachers every term we run what we call staff assessment, and at the end of the term, lots of gifts in cash and otherwise is given out to teachers. Last term, when we did our assessment a teacher went home with 16,000 naira.
Wow.
So another went home with 9,000, plus other gifts that had been given to them. So when we look at teacher evaluation here, it's something big, and the teachers know that if you're excelling, if you're doing well, that you will surely be appreciated. It's something they look forward to. So right here, the teachers don't work because Big Auntie is around. No, we don't do that. Everybody just works because he or she knows that I need to do this work. So here, their work speak for them. You don't need to cajole a teacher to do what he or she is supposed to do. They just do it. And of course, if you're a teacher, if you're doing well, the result shows on your children, on the pupils that you're teaching. So from the evidence of the performance of the pupils and from your classroom management skills and all that, we are able to evaluate the teacher. We even call in other teachers to come in and evaluate a particular teacher. And then whoever has maybe the highest scores gets lots of gifts. Generally, we give gifts to teachers. We may just come in and say, okay, every female teacher gets this gift, every male teacher gets this gift. That's general. And then when it comes to performance, your work, we also go ahead to appreciate them in numerous ways. I normally tell my teachers, once you're employed in Petra Academy, it is your performance that determines your growth, whether leadership growth, whether financially in terms of your take home. So you might come in here, if you're not doing well, you find that you're dragging. Everything drags around you. But if you're performing well, you find teachers that sometimes gain 100% of the original amount of money that was supposed to be their salaries. Within a year and 6 months or 2 years, they're earning like 100% of that amount of money. Wow. And I think for us, that is a very good way of motivating a member of staff. I mean, if the teacher is doing well, why not motivate that person?
Honestly speaking, I look forward to snapping a picture from you, ma. And I believe that for a holistic development of a child, and the teachers are like, all the facets of human endeavor needs to be met. What I mean by psychologically, educationally, and morally otherwise. When any of these is actually missing, you see that we have an unbalanced child. Then going by what the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he grows up, he will not depart from it. And when you look around, you see that the rate of moral decadence in the society is on the increase in every day. To what extent has your school taken it upon themselves to inculcate the needed morals and virtues to her students?
Right from the beginning, I introduced a subject that is not government, a subject that is not part of the government curriculum. I introduced the subject that we titled grooming. And in our grooming class, we have, under grooming, we have leadership classes for our pupils. We have sex education for our pupils. We have manners and etiquette, rules of behavior, social behavior for our pupils. And then we look at personality development. Okay, so all this is packaged into the grooming class. You find that, and we start the grooming class from the play group class. So children as early as 2 years old learn how to sit properly, how to talk properly, when is the best time to take permission from the teacher, if the teacher is talking with another adult, how you should wait until you think you have the teacher's attention to speak to that teacher, except it is something of an emergency. Maybe the child wants to use the cloakroom. So we teach all these things. How should the child behave when the child goes out with mom to maybe a shopping mall, to a birthday party? You know, you see a lot of children in our society and their clan, they come into birthday parties and they're just everywhere, running around. They can't sit in one place. It's difficult for them to comport themselves.
Exactly.
No. We teach our children to comport themselves. They go for parties, they sit where they're supposed to sit. They go to church with mom and dad, they sit right there. And even if they are sharing our things to parties, like you will find children shouting, auntie, you haven't given me, auntie. Our pupils will sit down and wait their turn. And we always say to them, even if it does not get to you, there's no problem. Whatever is in that party pack, mom, dad can always buy it for you. So it's not something that they act out of greed or the necessity that they must have because other children have. They learn to comport themselves. Then on the part of sex education, children are basically just taught what is right and what is wrong. What part of their body is a private part, what part is a public part, parts that people can touch and parts that people cannot touch. And based on that, the children are also taught about predators. You know, we have a growing number of pedophiles in our society. And I tell our parents, it could be anybody. It could be your brother, it could be your niece, it could be your nephew, it could just be anybody. It could be the house help, it could be the security man, it could be your driver, it could be an uncle, it could be anybody. So we teach children to learn to protect themselves, to learn to identify these pedophiles, to understand their games, because they have all sorts of ways that they try to lure children to themselves. They can start with gifts, they can start with all sorts of things. So we teach them what to do when they find themselves in a situation where a pedophile is maybe trying to reach a part of their body that is a private part. Okay, so we teach them. That's what we mean by sex education. We teach these children how to take care of their bodies, and then how to react in situations where how to respond in situations where maybe a pedophile tries to abuse them. Okay, then public speaking and all that. All these ones are put into grooming because we want our children to speak well. We want them to stand out and to speak without any form of stage fright. So this is what we have put in. But minus that, we have our moral instruction classes that take place on Tuesdays and Thursdays every week. So during those moral instruction classes, children are taught, about God. They're taught about morals and values. And it doesn't end there. It doesn't end with teaching it. The teachers are role models to these children. So when you teach something, you have to model it for the children, because children basically do not even learn by what they hear. They learn from what they see you do. So the children just simply learn that this is right and this is wrong. It's wrong to lie. It's wrong to cheat. It's wrong to, to be envious and all that. So they learn that from the teachers and they practice it. We find parents coming to us and, sometimes telling us that, I was doing this and my daughter said, no, mommy, that's wrong. It's not right to do that. My teacher said, such things. And it gives me joy when we get to find out that really our children, they're learning and they're practicing what they've learned.
Oh. Do you have, for other owners of schools scattered all over the country, starting from the universities, higher institutions like secondary schools and primary schools, what message do you have for them that would actually help to improve the standard and the quality of education in Nigeria?
Well, I think that for me, anyone that opens up a school is somebody that should be appreciated by the government. It's not easy to open up a school. And so as much as we have the public schools, all private school owners are people that should somehow receive some kind of encouragement from the government. That's one. So having said that, I will say to every school owner out there, we are building lives. And if you are passionate about what you're doing, you will realize that the lives that we're building will determine how the future of Nigeria will be. If you're conscious of that, you will give everything you have, both in human resource, in materials, in love and care to these children to ensure that you bring out the best in them. I would also like to encourage school owners to, as much as possible, try to employ quality teachers, seasoned teachers, so that they give you the best. And so that the children whom they are teaching will not only learn the content that the teacher is giving out, but then the teacher will help to discover the various talents that are in these children. A lot of children are multi-talented. Some pass through schools and nobody even notices that. So we work towards building up children, developing the right morals in them, and discovering this unique talent in them.
Oh, that's an incredible moment with you, ma. Exactly, it has been an incredible moment. It's all from Melissa Chukwuma, the proprietress of Petra Academy. And maybe you are out there, you think that every school there is just established for the purpose of making money. I want to put you wrong this time around. We have schools that are built for the purpose of discovering the unique potentials these children have. And maybe you are a parent out there, you are looking for a very good school for your ward or for your kids. I bet you don't think twice. Just go straightly to Petra Academy, and there your child will be developed in all facets of human endeavor, both spiritually, character otherwise, and in every other aspect of human life. Thank you very much, and don't forget, this is leakblast.com, the most updated news portal, and you are equally the proud owners of Leakblast TV, the most updated online TV. Thank you very much.